Hello children, have a nice day. Today's session is Unit 5 from Civics, Local Self-Government. What is the meaning of local self-government? They are institutions that look after the administration of an area or a small community such as a village, a town or a city. These local bodies provide services to the local community as well as act as an instrument of democratic self-government. The management of local affairs are elected by the local people. Let's see about historical background. It is a very old concept in India. It was at its peak under the later Cholas or the imperial Cholas of Tanjore. During the medieval period, local self-governments had somewhat declined due to the onslaught of feudalism. It was revived during the British period in the last quarter of the 19th century with the Western orientation of training in democracy with Lord Ripon's resolution in 1882. Lord Ripon was known as the father of local government, of laying the foundations of local self-governments in modern times. Historical background. Historical origin and development of local self-government in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has a long history of local self-governments as is evident from the Uttaramerur stone inscriptions of Parantaka Chola first in Kanjipuram district. Village republics reached its peak during the reign of Cholas. These village councils and effective links with the Chola rules. Kudovolai Murai was the name of the secret ballot method exercised to elect members to the village councils. With the downfall of Cholas, the state experienced a decline of the village autonomy and a rise of the centralized feudal administrative system. This continued till British rules introduced local self-governance primarily as an administrative convenience for the colonial British government. In the post-independence era, the first enactment in democratic decentralization in the state was the Madras Village Panchayat Act 1950. Pursuant to the White Paper on the Reform of Local Administration in 1957, the Madras Panchayats Act 1958 and Madras District Development Council Act were enacted with the following salient features. Lord Ripon was the one who gave Indians the first taste of freedom by introducing the local self-government in 1882. Ripon took some steps towards liberalizing the administration in India. He formulated the local self-government and made it clear that he was advocating for the decentralization of administration. He tried to remove obstacles in the sphere of local self-government by his resolution of 1882. He led a series of enactments in which larger powers of the local self-government were given to the rural and urban bodies, and the elected people received wider rights. Under the Government of India Act 1935, provincial autonomy was introduced. This act came into force in 1937. In the provinces where the Congress formed its government, rural development received special attention. It was an essential part of Gandhi's program that Panchayat Raj institutions would be built from villages to the highest level. After independence, the Gandhian ideal of Grama Swaraj, that is village republic, greatly influenced the constitution makers. India being the land of villages, the creation of village panchayats became a social movement. Restoration of panchayats has become an article of faith during our freedom struggle. Local self-governments since independence. The conceptualization of the system of local self-government in India took place through the formation and effort of four important committees from the year 1957 to 1986. The Community Development Program 1952 and National Extension Service 1953 became a basis for the Great Charter on Panchayat Raj in 1957. The Panchayat Raj system was inaugurated on October 2 in Naugarh district of Rajasthan by then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Salient features of the 73rd and the 74th Constitution Amendment Act 1992. Panchayats and municipalities will be institutions of self-government. Grama Sabhas, that is villages. Ward committees, that is municipalities, comprising three-tier system of panchayats at village, taluk and district levels. Seats at all levels filled by direct elections. Seats reserved for chairperson of the panchayats at all levels also shall be reserved in proportion to their population. 1/3 of the total number of seats reserved for women. Uniform 5-year term. Committees and recommendations. List of important committees and commissions in India. That is Balwant Roy Mehta Committee, that is in year of 1957. Next one is Ashok Mehta Committee 1977 to 78. G.V.K. Rao Committee 1985. L.M. Singhvi Committee 1986. Salient features of the Tamil Nadu Panchayat Raj Act 1994. The new Panchayat Raj system came into being in Tamil Nadu after the enactment of a new law for local body institutions in the year 1994. The salient features of the new act are as follows. A three-tier system, Grama Sabha, establishment of election commission, constitution of finance commission, reservation of seats for SC or STs proportionate to their population, 1/3 reservation of seats for women, and constitution of district planning committees. Village Panchayat. Local governments which are function in villages are called village panchayats. The president and ward members are directly elected by the people, and their term of office is 5 years. District collector acts as the inspector of village panchayat. Village panchayats are constituted in each and every village wherever the population is above 500. Functions of the village panchayat: supply of drinking water, maintenance of street lights, maintenance of roads, maintenance of village libraries, maintenance of small bridges, granting permission to the housing plots, maintenance of drainage, construction of group houses, cleaning of streets, maintenance of burial grounds, maintenance of common lavatory facilities. Voluntary functions. According to the Tamil Nadu Local Government Act passed in 1994, the following functions to be performed as voluntary functions by the local governments, that is maintenance of street lights in the villages, markets and fairs, implantation of trees, maintenance of playgrounds, parking of vehicles, slaughterhouses and cattle sheds, control over places of exhibition. Revenue. Village Panchayat was the only local government which was empowered to levy taxes in the three-tier system of village panchayat. Taxes. property tax, professional tax, house tax, taxes for connection of drinking water, land tax, taxes levied on shops. Meeting of Grama Sabha. In each and every village, the people living within its jurisdiction will be the members of Panchayat. The president of the Panchayat will preside over its meetings. In the meeting of the Grama Sabha, the income and the expenditure and the beneficiary of the schemes in the village are discussed. Meetings of the Grama Sabha are conducted 4 times of a year. January 26th Republic Day, May 1st Labor Day, August 15th Independence Day, October 2nd Gandhi Jayanti. Panchayat Union. Panchayat Union is formed by grouping of villages. Members of the Panchayat Union are directly elected by the people. The chairman of the Panchayat Union is chosen from among the members. What is the functions of the Panchayat Union? Supply of drinking water, maintenance of village health centers and roads, establishment of maternity homes and public fairs, then veterinary hospitals, maintenance of social forests and repairing of primary school buildings. In the district collector, planning officer, concerned block development officer are empowered to supervise the development functions of the Panchayat Union. District Panchayat. A district Panchayat is constitutional in each district. One district Panchayat is constitute for every 50,000 people and the ward members are directly elected by the people. The chairman is elected from one among its members and their term is 5 years. What is the functions of district Panchayat? Advising the government about the developmental schemes of the village Panchayat and Panchayat Union, supervising the functions of district planning commission. Urban local government, that is town Panchayat, municipality, corporation. Next one is town Panchayat. The area where more than 10,000 people live is called a town Panchayat. Members and president of the town Panchayat are directly elected by the people. There is an executive officer to look after the administration of the town Panchayat and their term of office is 5 years and he is appointed by the government. Municipality, the area where more than 1 lakh people live is called a municipality. The members and the chairman of the municipalities are directly elected by the people and their term of office is 5 years. Municipal commissioner is appointed by the government to administer the municipality. Next one is corporation. Municipal corporations are established in big cities where the city has many lakhs of population. The municipal commissioner is the administrative officer. The mayor is the chairman of the corporation. The term of office of the mayor and other members is 5 years. The municipal commissioner will be a person from the Indian Administrative Service, that is IAS. All the decisions of the corporation council will be implemented by him. He will be assisted by the office of the corporation. Okay, let's see about the function. Important functions of the mayor. He acts as a bridge between the members of the corporation and the government. He presides over the meetings of the corporation council and he receives the dignitaries from foreign countries. Next, types of other urban panchayats, that is notified area committee, town area committee, cantonment board, township, port trust and special purpose agency. Elections to the local government in Tamil Nadu. The state election commission conducts the elections to the local government like general elections. The electoral roll is prepared ward-wise. Seats are reserved for the SC and ST and also for the women in proportion to the population by rotation basis. Problems and challenges facing the local self-government. Local self-governments are the crucial basis for our democracy. The constitutional status of local self-governments adds more significance to their functioning. There are, however, a few critical concerns in the working of local self-governments in India. Major problems and challenges may be mentioned as below. Lack of clear demarcation of powers and functions of local bodies, allocation of funds and needs assessment are not matched, role of caste, class and religion in decision making at the local self-governments, poor accountability of elected members and officials at the grassroots levels of democracy. I hope you had understood this lesson. You learn book back exercise which is displayed on the screen. Thank you, ma. Take care of yourself.